Good evening, Mr. Tucker, Mr. Kotoko, school board members. The first item I have for you tonight are three revisions to job descriptions. The first is the TTRT, which is a revision from 200 to a 210-day contract, which is currently in our budget. Of course, that would be pending school board approval of our final budget. Revisions to our bus driver job description, which is language that's a bit dated. And the final one is a new job description, which is entitled an unassigned bus driver. And this would be, this is also in the budget. And Mr. Truett has some more information related to that.
Yeah, the unassigned bus driver, I may have mentioned it to a few of you, but never formally as a group. What this is we would take a current position. There are no additional costs associated with this. There is no increase in head count. It would be a current driver who would not have an everyday assigned route. They would be a flexible person and gives us flexibility in filling absences, covering field trips, and any type of event where a CDL bus driver is needed. And as far as, it also helps us with creating a position where we have a transition position from a new hire into a permanent, everyday routed bus driver. We have been challenged in the past with training bus drivers, and then we lose them to other divisions. And this would help us ease that effect. And then also what it does is it gives us an opportunity to become more efficient and much more flexible. As far as field trips go and sub days, so far this year, we've used 156 sub days. That's among all the bus drivers. We count subs as whether they are full day or half day, add them all up. It equals out to 156 days. That is almost just a full-time position in and of itself. We have most days where we are in the need of multiple subs, 1, 2, 3, where we benefit from this as an unassigned bus driver. Every day that unassigned bus driver drives is a day we don't have to pay a sub. So they pay for themselves every hour that they drive. We reduce our sub needs by that one driver. And the way we get that driver is making other routes more efficient and being able to draw from there and draw from that position that we, by modifying the routes, we're able to create an extra driver, a virtual driver, so to speak. And some of you may be familiar with our bus bingos, where we consolidate routes to free up a driver, and creates a little bit of chaos, but some of the students have gotten very good at handling it, and so the parents. It would help us reduce the need to do that as well. So it keeps things on a more consistent basis, but it increases our flexibility and our efficiency and has the potential to save us a lot of money. We are looking to create this position. We can create one this year. We would like to believe that we can create a second one next year by increasing the efficiency of our routes a little bit more. We don't know exactly what's going to happen next year because our routes change every year based on student need. For example, we don't have any elementary students this year in Morris Hill, but next year we might. So we're not having to take an elementary bus there, but next year we might have to. So what this does is it allows us to flex this driver. If we needed to flex them into a assigned route for a year, we could do that. If we needed to leave them free to help us with field trips and substitution days, it would allow us to do that. So that's what this unassigned bus driver position is. It's a full-time benefited position. And if we didn't have something for them to drive as far as our route one day, we always have shuttles. Every day we have shuttles. And we pay for each leg of those shuttles if we're not using someone like an unassigned bus driver.
I've asked Mr. Truett and Mr. Langston to review our transportation as we're moving forward, and they'll continue to make it more efficient. keeping in mind that our routes are only so long, and they will get longer. And one of the areas we're looking at is possibly looking at unique type of buses where we don't have to have CDL licenses as well. We're looking at different type of transportation, and the shuttles can come in any time of the year. I think a couple weeks ago, I think they were working on a shuttle that involved a special needs student that was pretty far out of the county, and so that can change the bus route. So if we don't provide that flexibility in there, now we extend that route, it can be up to a half hour, which is already a long route. So as long as we keep it, my comments to Mr. Truett was just keep it within our goal of that hour, 15 minutes, right in there, hour 20, so that students aren't any longer on the bus than that. So.
And you said we would not be adding,
We would not be adding headcount.
sounds like we're going to have somebody in-house like Mr. Vaughan who has the credentials, or Mr. Moga.
Well, one thing I left out is, out of that 156 sub days, that doesn't count the 60 times that Mr. Nicely has driven so far this year. 60. So we really need some increased flexibility. And he's driven shuttle runs. I've driven shuttle runs for several months. I had a daily shuttle.
The other thing is some of that savings that we would materialize for subs. So the combination of both that flexibility would give us, make us more efficient for that. But now again, uniquely in any rural school division, you're going to have your challenges that can change from one year to the next or during the school year, depending on who moves in and who moves out. So
I'm fine with it as long as you don't cut another run in my district.
absolutely, I think it would be hard to because of the low lane.
I think you're pretty safe. And we wouldn't be cutting.
So moved.
I have a question for Fred on the testing and technology resource team.
Yes.
Reports to, you have 4 people this person reports to. I know the building principal is the primary.
That's right.
You have 3 others listed.
Right.
Is that not going to be a problem, that person trying to report to 3 additional people?
We have a couple of TTRTs here tonight. We actually revisited this job description this past year and considered that the primary person is the principal, and that's who they directly work with. It's such a dynamic job, and there's so many different variables of that job. You have some of these other folks that are involved with that.
Reporting to them. As long as it's a conversation, one thing, it's another thing, if they're giving them direction that the primary is not aware of, it should all be coordinated through one person. I mean, 4 people, that's a bit much. That's just only a conversation. I can't expect any one person to report 4 people and get anything done.
We'll take a look at it. But what they do is they have 4 unique descriptions that, for example, the principal is not going to be as knowledgeable about, but when it involves technology, the supervisor of technology is going to. If it's, since they're working a lot with testing, they work directly with Ms. Hobbs, and then at times with instruction. So when they're analyzing data, and so when they're analyzing data, they have Mary Jane in there. When they're talking about the technology, programming, instruction, or hardware, they're working with Mr. Allman, and then they are also working with Jan when it comes to the testing program.
And I understand all that.
So-
But having one person get direction from 4 different people, even though they're different categories of the job, they should all be going through the primary, and they should be having a conversation with that person so that they can give a direction that he's understanding, that what they're doing or being asked to do, and that they understand it's going to be from one person. And I understand it's 4 different categories there, but I think we've got to come up with a better way than 4 people to report to.
We'll take a look at it, but that's the model that's used in Virginia as well. And it is a unique position that when they report, maybe it's a change in language, is that they work with versus report, because they do work more with Mary Jane and Jan and Jeff than they report to the principal. So we can work with that, but they do have 4 unique, as they would say, very unique job descriptions. And I'm sure when they came on board, they were probably good at 2 or 3 of them, and they've learned the 4th one out of their, and it's going to look a little different in each building as well. So we can look at the wording on that.
I just think one primary boss to report to is good, 4 is too many. That's just my statement on it, and we'll see what comes out on
Yes,
the
sir.
next revision. Board members, any other questions or comments?
Just one thing I want to clarify on the unassigned bus driver, you said that wasn't going to be an additive position. But
Correct. We will modify some existing routes to free up a position for it, or a person for it. And it'll just add to it'll ease the stress that we have right now on our subs, which we've had all year. We do have some people in the pipeline coming up, so I hope to remedy that really soon. Our changes to the CDL training program have been very effective. We have one person who is probably a matter of days away from going to take a test for licensure, and the other 2 have passed their learners, and they have gotten some of their certifications. As a bus driver in Virginia, you have to have about 4 different certifications as well as the training, VDOE. So it's an involved process, and it's a challenge nationwide.
So if this position is approved, our current bus drivers would express interest in being unassigned?
Yes.
Is that how we would do the selection?
Yeah, we typically follow a voluntary seniority
Okay.
process when a position opens up.
How many subs do we have right now? Bus drivers?
2. I'd like to have 5.
You say Marion has drove how many days?
60 times.
60 times this year. How many days did you drive?
I drove every day for 2 months, I know, and then scattered other times. I don't have a CDL, I don't drive the bus. I help out with the shuttles.
Still beats driving Roanoke every day. though.
It does be driving Roanoke every day.
I've asked that a few times.
So there is a need for drivers, and it's not unique to us. I mean, Botetourt's the same way.
It's across Scotland. Every day, Prince William County knows there will be 70 drivers short.
And
That's an example of where we are. And we're reaching out. I appreciate you looking at that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.